Welcome back to Gloss Garage, where we make detailing simple. My name is Hawk, and today I have something special for you guys. So today we have an in and out vehicle to do. It's just a wash on the outside, a decon with an iron remover, clay, and then we're going to seal it. But it's going to be a two-part video. So for the exterior, we're going to focus on the Jimbo's hard as shell, as well as their Pure Magic Cleaner. So we're going to do that. Obviously, we'll run through the whole 9 yards, but the main review will be on the Pure Magic Cleaner and Jimbo's hard as shell. And then for the interior, it's going to be a second part video where we detail the interior of it, but we're going to be using ADS Pilot. So first, this video will be more on the exterior, and then next video will focus on ADS Pilot. And let's see how well this does, because I feel like this is a perfect candidate. It is just dirty enough for it, and let's see if we transform this vehicle using Jimbo's products. So I will see you guys in a bit. So we have a perfectly dirty wheel. See there, caked on brake dust, everything. And of course you saw how the paint looks. So this is a perfect candidate. So for the tires itself, I'm gonna use Meguiars Wheel and Tire Cleaner diluted 1:5. But for the wheel specifically, we're just going to use Jimbo's Pure Magic Wheel Cleaner, or cleaner in general. Alright, so let's talk about Jimbo's Pure Magic Cleaner. So first thing off the bat, if you're purchasing this in a 16-ounce bottle, it will run you about $25. And typically a 16-ounce bottle of this wheel cleaner, it's only going to give you about 8 wheels, especially if you're using it on slightly neglected wheels like something like this. Sometimes you may require a second pass, but that means you're using more product, and I am not using this in a foamer. So if you spray it on and it's a little bit warm outside, it will actually start drying up quicker than, you know, if you were using it in a foamer. And then on top of that, that means you're gonna have to spray more, because you really want the product to dwell and eat into the brake dust, so that way it's easily removed. Now if you buy the gallon, which is the best bang for your buck, it's $100. It comes in concentrate, and you can actually make about 40 16-ounce wheel cleaner bottles. So that's something to keep in mind. Now all I did here was just sprayed it once on this wheel, let it dwell for about 30-60 seconds, and agitated the actual barrel, and it made it look spectacular. This was literally with one pass. It works very well. Now on super neglected vehicles, I haven't been able to actually use it, so that's just something to keep in mind. Just something on some newer vehicles like 2-3-year-old wheels that, you know, you can actually tell that they have some brake dust that have accumulated for sure over time, and it's starting to, you know, etch in onto the rim itself. So another important thing to mention for myself is I wouldn't be using this every single wash. It's only on slightly neglected wheels. So that's something just to keep in mind. I would just probably use this probably once a year once the barrels start getting caked on with brake dust. But overall, I would most likely just follow up on most of 90% of my maintenance washes with Meguiars Wheel and Tire Cleaner or Ethos Total Wheel Cleaner, just because you can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone, meaning you could clean the wheels and the tires in one shot. Now once you start seeing those brake dust start to form and not really want to come out with the regular wheel and tire cleaners, then you could step up to this and probably do a decon type of wheel cleaning once every 2 months and just use Jimbo's Pure Magic Wheel Cleaners. So that's just something to think about. All right, so I finished all 4 wheels, but let's take a look before we get started on the paints. Look at the wheel barrels. Look how clean it is. It's just completely clean. At Jimbo's Pure Magic Cleaner is fantastic. That is just completely clean. This is a 2021 Toyota Camry, but just look how clean the barrels are. It removed all that baked on, caked on brake dust. I know a lot of people's gonna say, yo, but you know, I wanted to see it on a crazy neglected. Look, I'm sorry, I don't really do crazy neglected vehicles. So once all 4 wheels and tires were done, we're ready for the contact wash. And this is just more for context, just showing that we wash, clay, decon the paint before applying Jimbo's hard as shell, just so when this vehicle comes back, we're able to monitor and see how well it's done over the next couple of weeks or even months. But from there, we ended up using Phoenix EOD's Kraken as the APC rinse, and then we use PNS Pearl shampoo for the contact wash, and then for the decon we ended up using Phoenix EOD Furies with the DIY detail clay towel, so that way we could decontaminate and clay all in one step. And then from there, just nothing much really to it. We just used Jimbo's hard as shell as a drying aid just to give it lubricity to actually dry the paint. Well, I suggest you use Jimbo's hard as shell as a drying aid. No, but this is just more if you're just using it as a standalone protection, just to dry the paint first and then apply Jimbo's hard as shell again all over the bodywork, so that way you're reducing any potential marring or scratching of the paint. But that's pretty much it. That's the only reason why I use Jimbo's hard as shell as a drying aid. Alright, so one thing I did forget to mention about Jimbo's hard as shell when I was applying it as a drying aid is that when you use it as a drying aid, which for me personally I wouldn't use it every single wash as a drying aid, but in this instance I did it because I was applying it as a standalone protection just to prevent scratches and swirls, which I already said a couple seconds ago. But all in all is, if you're using it as a drying aid, it doesn't feel super slick off the initial wipe. Is just wipe it in, and then once you flip your drying towel over or use a secondary towel, it feels slick under the towel. Is it the slickest? Not necessarily the slickest, but it is very slick. And then when I applied it dry, it just made it so effortlessly because we already had that initial slickness from the drying aid step. But that's pretty much it. Alright everyone, so for some context, pretty much we're going to use hard as shell as a drying aid, and then we're going to reapply it pretty much dry. I want to have some sort of lubrication as I'm drying. And yeah, that's pretty much it really, nothing much to it. So I got my drying blanket from DIY Detail, and all I'm doing is 1 to 2 sprays per panel. Like I said, it's just meant to dry the vehicle, not for protection. We're going to apply it dry using like a For the Wind towel from the Rag Company, and then leveling it off. So that's about it. I'm just doing this as a drying aid, and I'll see you once we're ready to apply it dry. And I will apply it in direct sunlight just to see how well it does. It's not cold outside, it's not hot, but the panel can still be warm enough to see if we will have any streaking of any sort. But as of right now, it feels super slick as a drying aid, nothing different than when I use it on the wheels. But I will see you once I'm done drying the rest of the vehicle. All right, everyone, so as you can see, we dried the entire vehicle. Now we're just going to apply it, and when we dried it, it feels super slick, even as a drying aid. And here's gonna be my first actual impressions on an actual dry paint, and we use it in direct sunlight. So first, I don't like to spray any type of sealant like this because you get a little overspray and may get some dots. So I like to apply enough on my microfiber, and then from there, we'll wipe it in and then buff it off with a nice plush Korean plush towel. This is from Auto Fiber, and this smells like nothing, but you just wipe it in and just wipe off. This is what Jimbo says. It's a wipe on, wipe off formula. And the paint wasn't really contaminated to begin with, and this thing just feels so slick and easy as that, and 0 streaks. I have literally 0 streaks that I see. You know what, I'm gonna apply 1 spray on the panel, a couple more on this, just to saturate more the Pearl towel, wipe off. Super easy, super slick. I have nothing bad to say about this. Maybe the only negative I have about this is 16 ounce is gonna run you about $35 USD. Canadian is probably 1,000 Canadian dollars. But if you were to get this in a gallon, it's like $170 for the gallon. But this is like a blessing and a curse. And what I mean a blessing and a curse is more of, you're paying for something that is claimed to be super durable. Now, do I recommend getting the gallon? Probably not, especially if you're gonna be applying this in a dry application. And I've used this a bunch as a drying aid with wheels and tires, and look how much I have left. So, do you need the gallon? I'm probably going to say no, to be honest, especially if it's super durable. Why are you gonna need a whole gallon of this if it's gonna last you, 8 months, and your gallon is probably gonna last you 4 years. Who knows how long it's gonna last if it's super durable. So that's about it. In terms of cost, do I recommend you using it as a drying aid every single time? And I'm going to say no as well. I don't think you should use this as a drying aid. I don't think it's necessary. If you're gonna use this as a regular stout protection, that is fine, based on, again, the claims. I'm not going to say that I've experienced anything or if I've done any type of torture tests, because I haven't. But in terms of ease of use, wipe on, wipe off, 0 streaks, I'm in the sunlight, and that's it. We're just adding durable protection. It is super glossy, super slick. Nothing negative to say about this as of yet. All right, everyone, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the results. So you saw how nice and glossy and amazing the paint is. I wish you guys could feel how slick the paint is, but compared to how it came in to the after, night and day difference. Jimbo's hard as shell, fantastic, fantastic for sure. But also the Pure Magic Cleaner for the wheels, on how we clean that baked on brake dust that was on there inside the barrels, made it look brand new again. This is a great wheel cleaner for sure. So let's talk about reality, and let's hit reality real quick for a second, because I'm going to talk about cost, and this is something that you guys should be asking yourselves every time you're about to purchase something. So Jimbo's Pure Magic Cleaner, a fantastic wheel cleaner for a 16-ounce bottle, ready to use in a 1:4 dilution ratio, is going to cost you $25. So I ended up getting this in a gallon, which he came out with gallon forms, and it's on a concentrate form. And you can make 40 16-ounce ready-to-use wheel cleaners, as opposed to this is only already ready to use for $25. Best bang for your buck. That's something that you should just put in your cart, buy it right away, and that's it. And if you want to use this as a water spout remover, I haven't used it as a water spout remover yet because I haven't got my gallon yet. It's a 1-to-1 dilution ratio, and you can make 16 16-ounce bottles of water spout remover using, diluting it, and that's it. But how often are you going to use a water spout remover on a car? Not often. And if it's a 1-to-1 dilution, you're probably going to get in a 16-ounce bottle, probably 4 to 5 vehicles of water spout remover. So best bang for your buck, something that you should just put in your cart, hurry up and literally buy it. Nothing bad to say about this so far. So next up is Jimbo's hard as shell. So this is the double-edged sword, and this is where I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. So first off, great product, and this is what happens when you make something that is claimed to be super good. So first off, it's $35 for a 16-ounce bottle. I've used this a bunch of times already on certain vehicles, 1 to 2 sprays per panel as a drying aid, and also as a drying aid for the rims. This is the first time I've used it as a standalone protection on the vehicle, just to get my full verdict, and I use it in direct sunlight. So first I used this as a drying aid on the car, and I came back, saturated my towel, wiped it in, and then did 1 to 2 sprays, continue around the vehicle. Look how much I still have left. So this is gonna last you a long time. So as a DIYer, do you need a gallon of this? Possibly not. If you get a gallon of this, it costs $170, and that's probably gonna last you 4 to 5 years, because this is the problem when you make something that's claimed to be super good and so that's it. If you want the best protection, absolutely get this. I have nothing bad to say about this. Just for the gallon, I'm not sure if a DIYer wants to get a gallon for him. So that's it in terms of cost, because the gallon, the difference between the gallon of hard as shell and this Pure Magic Cleaner, the problem is that this is dilutable, right? It comes in a concentrate form. This is just all ready to use. You just pour it, that's it, ready to use. So you may use this a bunch, and for it to be used as a drying aid constantly, it's gonna dig into your pocket. So it's better off to just use a rinseless wash or a ceramic detail spray that's cheap, just to dry the vehicle, and that's it. Now, where would I put this in where it would outshine? So first off, the best way in my business where I see fit, if it's true to its form, where it is super chemical resistant, will be wintertime. So any vehicle that gets ceramic coated by me, right before winter, 90% of my customers come back right before winter, get a nice quick little decon wash on their ceramic coating, and I will top this, apply it dry, not as a drying aid. I would, dry the vehicle and apply this, dry as a topper for that ceramic coating. And if it's super chemical resistant, the way Jimbo's been showing it and doing his torture tests, this is going to be a big winner for your ceramic coatings through harsh winters for sure. So definitely great. So that's something you should outweigh yourself. Jimbo, you've done a great job with this. Super slick, super glossy, but just two different things on if you're a DIYer, do you need a gallon? If you're a professional, do you want the gallon? And how beneficial is it for you? I'll most likely be using this more as a standalone topper on a ceramic coating, especially during winter time, and potentially just as a standalone protection once in a while, because it is super easy to apply. I applied it on the sun in direct sunlight. It's a spray on, wipe off product, not hard to use. But yeah, that's just me keeping it real with you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this content. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All the products will be down below for you guys to order. I don't have a discount code for you guys. So Jimbo, if you want to comment down below and give them a discount code, that's cool with me. But phenomenal products for sure. So I will hit you guys, and not hit you guys. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.